So we're just underway here in game 2. No score. 1-2 count here for Chasen Cosner facing Spencer Kramer. I believe Cosner's a sophomore, if I remember my memory serves me right. That pitch is outside 2-2. Now it's 11-1 Scott City softball over Holcomb in the top of the 4th with the runner at second and 2 out. Here just underway. Scott City trying to complete the doubleheader sweep. Pitch. Swing and a miss. And Kramer gets a strikeout. And there's out number 1 for Max
Brookover. Swinging for one away. That'll bring up Brookover, the batter.
Brookover, the freshman, checks in.
Home. 1 down.
He went 2 for 4. He was the only one with multi-hits in game 1 for Holcomb. He went 2 for 4 in game 1. Batting in the 2-hole, the right-handed batter facing the righty Kramer. That one right down Main Street, called strike, 0-1. 0-1 count here for Max Brookover, the freshman shortstop. In game 2, you have Easton Eisenhower catching. Emilio Contreras, the everyday first baseman. That pitch is inside. Gets away from the catcher, but nothing to worry about as it goes to the backstop with the bases empty. And it is a 1-1 count. Jackson Harris remains at second. Avery Radke is now at short after catching the first game and taking Feely at third. The 1-1 pitch is drilled down the third base line by Brookover. This is going to be worth a single, a 1-out single.
1-out single for Brookover. That'll bring up Wickwar. Smiling
That'll bring in
Johnson in the hole.
Ryan Wickwar, who's going to be the starting pitcher for Holcomb in game 2. Wickwar, 1 for 4 the runs scored in game 1. It's Smiley on deck. Only a couple seniors on this Holcomb team. That pitch misses for a ball. Corral and Corbin Johnson, I believe, are the only seniors on this Holcomb team. Pretty young squad. A lot of freshmen. Of course, in the outfield, throwback to first. Brookover safe. You have Chasten Berry, the junior, left. Aaron Radke, the freshman, in center. And Yuli Armendariz, the sophomore, in right field. We're here in the top of the first, 1-on-1 out. Almost picked off there was Brookover as he got a little bit more of a lead there, but got underneath the tag of Contreras at first. Softball team now has opened up a 14-1 lead as they head to the bottom of the 4th in game 2. They won in 5 innings in game 1, 10-0. That throw back to first almost again. Boy, Kramer's been close to picking off the runner at first a couple of times here. He's going to get one of those. Wickwar gets the signs from his third base coach and a 1-0 count for him. Brookover at first, 1 out for Holcomb, top of the first. And oh, man. That was even closer there. Scott City, you heard the reaction in their dugout and over the fans. They thought they had the pick off of Brookover, who leads again from first. A throwback. This one, it got away from Contreras that time. And on to second goes Brookover. He'll round second. He's chugging for third, and he'll get in there easily. The pickoff attempts there, but then that time of the error will allow Brookover to advance over to third. And 1 out. 1-0 count is into left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit, and that'll score Max Brookover from third. And the Ryan Wickwar RBI single puts Holcomb on the board early on, 1-0.
Wickwar with an RBI single. It's going to bring up Smiley. Johnson
1 on, 1 out,
1-0.
Holcomb top of the first for Max and Smiley, the first baseman. Boy, that throw to first and misplay, and all of a sudden you have a runner at third with 1 out, and they're almost picking him off several times. And the next pitch, they deliver an RBI single. Max and Smiley, who ended up taking the loss, takes the pitch high for ball 1. He took the loss in game 1. He was the runner, he was pulled after 93 pitches. In the bottom of the 7th with 1 out and the bases loaded. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI in game 1 and takes the pitch low 2-0. And now if you're Kramer, you just kind of got to recollect yourself after having a couple of really close plays at first. That one you thought maybe you got out, and then a play that was misplayed at first, and then the runner advances to third on the bases, and then the next hit was a single. Now all of a sudden it's a 3-0 count for Max and Smiley. So you see an avalanche of momentum going about over to Holcomb's side. Here with 1 on and 1 out and a 3-0 count for Max and Smiley here in the top of the first. 3-0, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and just like that, there's 2 on and nobody out.
Walk
Or
for
2 on, 1
Smiley
out,
brings up
excuse me.
Johnson. Corral on deck.
Corbin Johnson
Cale Johnson, the hole.
checks in, left-handed batter. He went 0 for 3 in game 1. He'll be the catcher again for Holcomb here in game 2. 2 on, 1 out for Holcomb. The top of the first, already up 1-0. Puts down a nice bunt. Guys are on the edge of the grass. Eisenhower's plays at first. That advances the runners to second and third with 2 out.
Runner out of first
And boy, good
for 2 away.
hit or a bunt that time by Johnson, and that advances the runners 90 feet on the bases with 2 out.
Corral the batter. Cale Johnson on deck. Olvita in the hole.
2-3 on the retirement of the senior Corbin Johnson, and that'll bring in David Corral, the left fielder. Corral in game 1 went 1 for 2 with a run scored, a walk, a strikeout. 1-0 Holcomb. They have 2 on and 2 out. Throw back to third to keep that runner close to the bag. Kramer is throwing 15 pitches here in the top of the first. We'll see Ryan Wickwar, who's at third right now. He'll be the pitcher for Holcomb here in game 2. This one, Corral lifts in the air to left field, and that is going to go foul. Looks like it worked its way out, and the count is at 0-1. Corral batting in the 6th hole for Holcomb here in game 2, like he did in game 1. When Scott City could sweep a doubleheader here today against one of the teams that's been at the top of the league for a while, that would be a big confidence builder for this squad. With the road trip to Lakin on Thursday and Colby next Tuesday, that pitch in for a called strike, and it's now 0-2. Good job by Kramer battling back here. 2 outs, 0-2 count, 2 in scoring position for the Longhorns here in the top of the first. 1-0 Holcomb lead on the Wickwar RBI single that drove in Max Bricko. Up high, 1-2. If Corral reaches, we see Cale Johnson check into bat. He's standing on deck for the Longhorns. Working from the stretches, Kramer with Smiley on at second, Wickwar at third, 2 out here in the top of the first. Kramer sets and delivers. This looked like maybe barely high, 2-2. It'll be Radke, Contreras for Scott City in the bottom of the first. That's Avery and Aaron, and then Emilio. Kramer trying to get one more out here and keep it at a 1-run deficit for Scott City. Pitch, fouled off. Stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes does J.B. Corral. It also pushes the pitch count up for Spencer Kramer at 20 now. Some shade starting to find the field here in Scott City. Wind has died down right now. Oh, that curveball froze. Corral looking at strike 3. And that'll end the top of the first. A run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. Holcomb leads 1-0 after half an inning.
Radke and Contreras coming up for the
Come
Beavers.
back in a minute. This is Beaver Baseball. Here we go. 1-2 pitch. This is just tap foul by Contreras and remains alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Freshman up on the mound. Does take a lot of time, but see if he gets a little faster here as he goes through his career. But very talented freshman. We've seen some pretty good pitches from him already, but that one, he'll be hitting the batter, Contreras, and Scott City with 2 on and 1 out for Tegan Feely.
At bat number 9, Tegan Feely.
Feely in game 1 went 1 for 3 with an RBI. And he has an RBI opportunity with Aaron Radke at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The Beavers down 1-0 here in game 2. Holcomb got a run and 2 hits in the top of the first. Took advantage of an error by Scott City. This one lifted in the air to center field. This one, Cosner has to dive to his left. Oh, he dropped it. And that'll allow the runners to advance 90 feet. And the ball thrown into the infield glove that time by Novak. And that if he doesn't what?
That was a good try.
Yeah, get a single, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. 2 hits in the inning, and the bases are loaded for Scott City.
Bases loaded with 1 down for Scott City, number 28, Spencer Kramer.
Cosner almost came up with another incredible catch in the outfield. Spencer Kramer, the batter. He was a hero for the Beavers in game 1 with the game-winning RBI single with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Scott City, the 3rd walk-off win in this year. Pitch. Swings at that one and a slider and counted 0-1. Radke at 3rd, that's Aaron Radke. Emilio Contreras at 2nd. Tegan Feely at 1st. 1 down here in the bottom of the 1st. 1-0 Holcomb lead. Scott City threatening though with the bases loaded. That one in for a called strike. It's 0-2. So Wickward's come back and battled back. They're giving up a hit batter and a couple singles here. With an 0-2 count here on the senior pitcher Kramer. Pitch. Tapped 3rd base side, but foul. And Kramer does a good job of staying alive. And the count's 0-2. Scott City heads to Lakin on Thursday, and then a pretty big matchup with TMP on Tuesday next week. I still can't get over that TMP beat Colby in 10 innings, 10-1 in game 1. The Monarchs scored 9 runs in the top of the 10th. Pitch. This is the grounder. This is slow road. Fielded by the pitcher. He tries to go home, but he can't field it. And Scott City ties the game up at 1. Yep, that's an error. Rickwar could not dig it out of the grass, and Aaron Radke scores from 3rd. We're tied at 1.
At bat for Scott City, number 35, Easton Eisenhower.
So both teams with 1 run on 2 hits and an error in this first inning, but Scott City continues on with the bases loaded. Emilio Contreras to 3rd, Tegan Feely at 2nd, Spencer Kramer at 1st for Easton Eisenhower. He got the win in game 1, going all 7 innings on the mound for the Beavers. He takes the curveball up high for a ball. Eisenhower went 0 for 3 in game 1. Looking to reach base for the first time in the doubleheader here in game 2. If he does here in the first inning, that means Scott City likely has the lead here. Unless there's a play at the play. That pitch misses 2-0. So now Wickwar up to 18 pitches here in this first inning. And a lot of pressure on him with the bases loaded and 1 out in a 1-1 game. Pitch. That plunks him and hit by bat pitch. Will score Contreras, who was also hit by a pitch in this inning, and Scott City with the lead 2-1.
He's going to bring up number 20.
Tegan Feely at 3rd now,
Jackson
and Spencer
Harris.
Kramer at 2nd for, and Easton Eisenhower at 1st for Jackson Harris. And Scott City has sent 7 to bat in the inning, and have a 2-1 lead here. Harris in game 1 went 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. That one misses low and away, ball 1. It's pitch number 20 for Wickwar here in this bottom of the first. Has only recorded 1 out. Softball completes their Twin Bills sweep. They win in 5 innings in Game 2, 15-2. So they outscored Holcomb in both of those games, 25-2. And they are 6-0 on the year with a trip to Lakin on Thursday. 1-0 count here for the left-handed batter Jackson Harris facing the fellow freshman for Holcomb, Ryan Wickwar. And Wickwar delivers a strike, and the count is at 1-1. Feely at third, Kramer at second, Eisenhower at first. One out here in the bottom of the first. Scott City with a 2-1 lead here on Holcomb here in Game 2. Here's the Wickwar pitch outside, 2-1. The very young Holcomb team, as I mentioned. 3 freshmen and a sophomore along the field there. Freshman on the mound, and that time Harris swings through and misses. The count is at 2-2. And if Corbin Johnson, a senior catching here for the freshman Ryan Wickwar, sophomore Maxon Smiley at first, Cale Johnson, the freshman at second, Max Brookover, a freshman at short, Eli Novak, a freshman at third, and senior Javi Corral in left, Cosner, a sophomore in center. And this pitch has popped up in the infield. No infield fly rule called. It just snuck out into the outfield. Cale Johnson makes the catch for out number 2.
Up to the second baseman for 2 away. This could bring up number 11, Chaston
Cale Johnson
Berry,
into shallow center field makes the catch for out number 2. Feely remains at third, Kramer at second, and Eisenhower at first for Chaston Berry, the junior left fielder. He had an infield single and tied the game at 1 in the bottom of the third inning of Game 1. 2-1 Scott City. The pitch misses high for a ball, 1-0. So 1-0 count here for the junior Chaston Berry. Bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the first. The pitch popped up. This will work its way out, 1-1. Wickwar already at 26 pitches in this first inning. The Lady Beaver softball team now 4-0 in conference play. 1-1, grounded down the third base side, but foul, and it's going to be 1-2. Good hit by Berry, but just pulled her foul. Counted a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 count here for Chaston Berry. This will be the 28th pitch of the inning for Wickwar. 2 runs, 2 hits, and an error in this inning. 1-2, lifted in the air. This is going to be foul, third base side, and still 1-2. Two or 1-2 count here for Chaston Berry. Bases loaded for Scott City. 2 down. The pitch. Ooh, just missed high. 2-2. Break there for Berry. He'll get another crack at it. Wickwar trotted off the mound thinking the inning was over. Thought he had strike 3 there. The umpire said just a bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-1 Scott City, bottom of the first here in Game 2. This will be Wickward's 30th pitch of this inning. And it is a strike as it's a swing and a miss for Berry.
Swing and a miss, strike
That'll
3.
end the inning, but Scott City grabs the lead. 2
Scott
runs,
City
2 hits,
scores
1
2
error.
there
They
at the
do
end of
leave the
1.
bases
2-1
loaded.
Beavers.
2-1 Beavers as we head to the second. Back in a minute. This is Scott City Baseball. All right. plays as we are into the second inning. Holcomb will have the bottom third of the order. Cale Johnson, Jacob Oviedo, and Eli Novak due up for the Holcomb Longhorns in their second at bats, and really batting today for the first time from behind. Scott City did not lead at all until the bottom of the seventh in game one, and they walked it off for a 3-2 win. So this one is a 2-1 Scott City lead. First time the Beavers will play with a lead today. As Kramer works through his final warm-up pitches, he threw 21 pitches in that first inning.
Leading off the second inning for Holcomb is Johnson.
The freshman Cale Johnson
in the hole.
Johnson in game one for the Longhorns went 1 for 3 batting in the 7 hole. Both teams keeping their lineups pretty much the same. That pitch into the dirt for ball 1 to begin the second inning. This one lifting the air. This will be a base hit into right field for Cale Johnson to lead off this second inning. And so the Longhorns will have the tying run aboard with nobody out. Here in the top of the second inning for Jacob Oviedo, the right fielder.
Oviedo, the batter. Novak on deck.
Oviedo 1 for 3 with a run scored an RBI in game one. Scott City right now with a 2-1 lead. Holcomb just picked up their third hit of the game. They're now out hitting Scott City 3-2. As Johnson leads off from first, and here's a grounder just past the reaching out effort of Harris. And it's runners at first and second. Back-to-back singles for the Longhorns in this top of the second inning on only 3 pitches thrown by Kramer. 2 on, nobody out for Eli Novak.
Single for Oviedo brings up Novak.
Novak went 1 for 3 with an RBI in game one.
Runners at first and second, nobody down.
2-1 Scott City hanging on to a 1-run lead early on here in the second inning. Kramer sets. Contreras in and grass pretty far in, and this one's going to be ripped. Fielded by, they just go to first, as Jackson Harris.
Runner out
to Miller Contreras
away.
For out number 1. So that does, in a way, work like a bunt.
It's going to bring up Cosner, the batter. Brooke over
advances
on
runners to second and third with 1 out. So 2 on and 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position. After that 4-3 put out, Harris to Contreras. Oviedo to second, Johnson to third. Back to the top of the order with Chasen Cosner, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. So 2 in scoring position, 1 out. That pitch, no doubt about it, called strike, counted 0-1. Cosner, the batter, left-hander. Base hit could tie this game up and potentially give the Longhorns the lead back. 2 hits in the inning for Holcomb. Here's a soft shot into center field. Now it's going to be a diving effort, and it goes past Radke, and that's going to tie the game up as the throw in allows Chasen Cosner to advance to second. A good effort by Radke there. It scores Cale Johnson from third, and it's 2-2 with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the second. So Oviedo to third, Cosner advanced to second on the throw in.
Bring up Brooke over the batter.
RBI single ties this game up at 2 with 2 on and 1 out. Same situation as the last at bat with runners at second and third. For Max Brookover, he has 1 hit. He singled into left field his first time up. 2 on, 1 out for the Longhorns. We're evened up at 2 here in the top of the second. Kramer deals. Pitch missed up and in, ball 1. He's now just 28. He's only throwing 7 pitches in this inning. 3 of those have been singles and a bunt out, or a ground out, excuse me. That pitch misses inside. Ducking out of the way that time was Brookover, and it's now 2-0 for Brookover. Brookover, the shortstop for Holcomb here in game 2. Kramer will bring home a 2-0 and Misses inside, trying to get that on the inside corner, but missed. It's now 3-0. 2-2, top of the second, 2 on, 1 out for Holcomb. Brick over the batter as Cosner at second, Oviedo at third. Pitch is low for ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk will load the bases for Ryan Wickwar, the pitcher. Single his first time up.
Close the bases.
Run
Bring up Wickwar, the batter,
on 3 hits in
deck.
this inning for Holcomb so
Johnson,
far. They've
Corbin
loaded the
Johnson.
bases here with
Get rid
1
of
out in
him.
the top of the second. Kramer at 31 pitches through inning and a third. That was a pitch high for a ball. That's 5 in a row for Kramer out of the zone here. See if he can bounce back here. Here's a 1-0, up and in, 2-0. He's now trying, or he's wavering a little bit on the mound is Kramer. Getting the first out of the, or getting 1 out here anyway in this inning. That one misses, low and away, and it's 3 in a row, or out of the zone here in this at-bats. 7 in a row out of the zone thrown by Kramer. Just needs to throw one right down the middle and get a strike on the board here. 3-0 delivery. There's your strike, and it's 3-1. Wickwar was getting ready to maybe trot off to first, but umpire says not so fast. That was strike 1. 3-1 count here for the freshman pitcher Ryan Wickwar. Oviedo at third, Cosner at second, Brookover at first. 1 out here in the top of the second. The 3-1 pitch misses low and away, and that's going to be an RBI walk, and Holcomb is back ahead 3-2. Oviedo scores. Cosner at third, Brookover at second. Wickwar at first for Max and Smiley, and Coach David Dirks calls time.
Smiley's going to be your batter. Corbin Johnson on deck, corralling the hole. 1 down.
Talk maybe to his infield here. As I mentioned, Scott City will be at Lakin on Thursday, and then they'll have a big matchup with Colby next Tuesday. Their next home game isn't until the 24th, when they'll take on Garden City. Coach David Dirks talking to his entire infield, including the catcher involved. Some big games coming up as well. In between that, 3 straight road doubleheaders for Scott City. Thursday at Lake and Tuesday at Colby, and then the following Tuesday, the 21st, at Cimarron. See if they ended up winning their game or not. In game 1, they were up 15-10 in the top of the 7th. All right, that one's done. Yep, they hung on for the 15-11 win in game 1. Cimarron did, and they're 1-0 in league. Smiley, the first baseman in game 2. He went 6 1/3 on the mound in game 1. Had a pretty good day, and then 7th inning kind of got away from him, and Kramer misses on the inside. Ball 1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Top of the second, 2 in for Holcomb, and they have a 3-2 lead. They have 2 runs on 3 hits in this top of the second here in game 2. 1-0. Up high, 2-0. Kramer really struggling to find the zone here as of late in the last 3 batters he's faced. So he just works from the windup here with the bases loaded and 1 out. 2-0. And this is 3-0. He pitched pretty good against Spearville on Thursday. Ended up getting a no decision in 6 innings. That game went 8 innings, and Spearville would win that. 3-0 right down in there for a called strike down the middle, 3-1. But he's throwing, has Kramer 19 in this inning, 40 for the game, 3-1, and misses outside on an RBI walk. And it's now 4-2 Holcomb here in the top of the second, and that's going to be it for Kramer. As Coach David Dirks makes his way out of the dugout. We'll see who the new pitcher is when he come back. And it's going to be Aaron Radke, looks like, as he points out to center field. 4-2 Holcomb here in the top of the second. We'll tell you about the numbers on that feeling when we come back, or 6-2 Holcomb as we head to the bottom of the second here in game number 2. It'll be the 9-1 two hitters once again for the Beavers. Yuli Armendariz wrapping up round 1 of game 2 for Scott City, and the second time through for Avery and Aaron Radke. They'll face the freshman pitcher once again, Ryan Wickwar,
Up to bat for the Beavers, number 13, Yuli
threw 30
Armendariz.
pitches in the first inning. Scott City would leave the bases loaded after they took a 2-1 lead into the second inning. First pitch is grounded by Armendariz. Here's a slow roller fielded by Novak, and no play at first. That's an infield single. Boy, that was a slow roller on the ground hit by Armendariz, his second infield single of the day. And Scott City has a leadoff batter aboard here for bottom of inning number 2, and it's back to the
Infield
top of the
single for
order.
Armendariz brings up the top of the order, number 3, Avery Radke.
Radke, the shortstop, 0 for 1. Fly out to center field his first time up. It was robbed of a base hit by Chasen Cosner. Has made some pretty good plays out in center field today for the Longhorns. 6-2 Holcomb, top of the second, or bottom of the second, 1 on, nobody out. And that pitch misses low for a ball. Beavers with their third hit of the game. Holcomb had 5 hits through 2 innings so far. Kramer will be tagged with 6 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits, but 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. He ended up throwing 41 pitches in an inning and a third, but that pitch misses inside 2-0, and I believe that does keep him eligible to pitch on Thursday at Lakin. I think the max for a 1 day's rest is 45 or 46. 45, so yep. 2-0 count here for Radke. That pitcher misses away 3-0. Yeah, Wickwar with his 4 pitches here. He's thrown 34 pitches, 20 for strikes. Armendariz at first, nobody out. Scott City here in the bottom of the second. Beavers down 4 runs here in game 2. They won 4-3 in game 1 on a walk-off. Now it's a 4-pitch walk to the senior Radke. 2 on, nobody out for freshman Aaron Radke.
The pitcher, Aaron
now the pitchers, he
Radke.
singled right back up the middle his first time up. And now here comes Coach Chris Finnegan out of the dugout to talk to his freshman Ryan Wickwar. Wickwar has walked his first batter of the game. He's hit 2 batters, struck out 1. He's given up 2 runs so far, 1 earned on 3 hits. 35 pitches for Ryan Wickwar. Like Finnegan took the ball for a moment, then gave it back. Nope, we do have a new pitcher.
Number 3.
It's going to be Eli Novak. We'll tell you about it when we come back a little bit more. 2 on, nobody out for Scott City in the bottom of the second. 6-2 Holcomb back after this break. This is Beaver Baseball. Holcomb brings in a new pitcher here for the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be from third base, Eli Novak, the freshman. So he gets his warm-up tosses here, and he gets the pitch to cousin Corbin Johnson. There are about 4 first cousins on this team. For Holcomb. I believe Smiley remains at
Batter for
first, and
Scott
they
City,
move
number 1,
Wickwar
Aaron
over to third.
Radke.
Wickwar will be responsible for the runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the last of the second. 6-2 Holcomb with the lead. Armendariz at first. Radke at first. Armendariz at second, beg your pardon. Aaron Radke at the plates, looking for his second hit at as many innings. Seeing another fellow freshman on the mound for Holcomb. That first delivered into the dirt for ball 1-0.
I see what you're saying. We should have taken it over to him. When he gave it to us.
So, a righty-lefty matchup. Aaron Radke, left-handed bat. Novak sets, looks over the runner at second, and brings home the 1-0. Misses outside corner, 1-1. Aaron Radke did not take the bait on that one. Yuli Armendariz at second. Avery Radke at first. No outs for Scott City in the bottom of the second. All of a sudden, the Beavers have the tying run on deck. That's Emilio Contreras. 2-0 in the dirt, 3-0. 3-0 count here for Aaron Radke. And the freshman Novak trying to get a strike here. 3 pitches have been out of the zone. And, of course, his dad is the head basketball coach, longtime coach for Holcomb, Chad. 3-0 in there for a called strike, and he's on the board with a strike is the freshman pitcher Novak, 3-1. Armendariz at second, Avery Radke at first. Nobody out for Scott City here in the bottom of the second, down 4 runs, 6-2. Aaron Radke at the plate. Novak sets, brings home the 3-1. Outside, ball 4, and that'll load the bases up for Emilio Contreras.
Radke loads the bases for Scott City. Brings up number 12, Emilio
Was
Contreras.
hit by a pitch in the first inning. And he ended up scoring on a hit by a pitch in that bottom of the first. An RBI hit by a pitch for Eisenhower that scored Contreras to tie or give Scott City the 2-1 lead. And that one is wild pitch, or almost a wild pitch, excuse me, but blocked by Johnson, 1-0. So far, Eli Novak's really struggling finding the zone here for Holcomb in the bottom of the second. Pitch up high, 2-0. Yuli Armendariz at third, Avery Radke at second, Aaron at first. 6-2 Holcomb, bottom of the second. Nobody out, bases loaded for the Beavers here in game 2. 2-0 count here for Emilio Contreras, the senior first baseman. Novak sets, still working from the stretch, and delivers home a 2-0 and a swing and a miss by Contreras. 2-1 is now the count. 2-1 count here for Contreras, so the base is loaded. And he swings through that one and misses, and Novak has found some confidence in his last 2 pitches thrown. It's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here with the bases loaded for Contreras with Feely on deck here in the bottom of the second for the Beavers, down 4 runs. Novak deals. Outside, full count, 3-2. And so the freshman in a big situation here. Nowhere to put Contreras. Has to probably deliver one right down the middle here and see what Contreras can do with it. Payoff pitch. Popped up in the air to right field, but out of play. And it remains full at 3-2. Full count, 3-2 once again here for the senior Contreras facing the freshman Novak for Holcomb. Novak sets. Second payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4, and that'll walk in a run. Armendariz will score from third. Avery Radke goes from second to third, and Aaron Radke goes from first to second. 6-3, bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the second.
Now batting for the Beavers.
The last
number 9,
run that'll be charged to
Feely.
Wickwar stands at third base. As Scott City gets a run back with nobody out here in the bottom of the second, that brings in Tegan Feely. 1 hit already. Singled into center field his first time up in the first inning. The tying run at first with nobody out for the Beavers. And he grounds this one. This will score a run and be fielded. And the throw to first got him in time. But an RBI ground out by Feely scores Avery Radke from third and makes it 6-4 with runners at second and third with one out. So 6-3 retirements. Brook over to Smiley.
Kramer, your batter
Scores
for Scott City.
Avery from third. Aaron to second. Tying run is at Aaron Radke at third. Tying run, Emilio Contreras at second for Spencer Kramer, who's 0 for 1. Kramer reached on an error his first time up. And that curveball in for a called strike, 0-1 the count for Kramer. So Novak has come in and thrown 14 pitches, is recorded one out, and is now responsible for both base runners on the bases, second and third. Kramer fouls that one off. It's 0-2. So the line is done for Wakewar. He'll end up giving up 4 runs, 3 earned on 3 hits with the strikeout and a walk and 2 hit batters, an inning plus of work. 2 on, 1 out. Scott City's cut the deficit in half here in the bottom of the second. They have the tying runs aboard. And swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Kramer.
Swing
2
and a miss,
away
strike 3 for 2
for
away.
Easton Eisenhower.
Now at bat, number 35, the catcher, Easton Eisenhower.
Eisenhower got the RBI hit by a pitch in the first inning. That gave Scott City the 2-1 lead at the time, and then Holcomb rallied for a 5-run in the second inning. Eisenhower pitches high for a ball from Novak. 1-0 for the junior catcher. He got the win in game 1, went all 7 innings on the mound for the Beavers. 1-0 for Novak, in for a called strike on the curve, and it's 1-1. Holcomb in their third at bats will have the 8-9-1 hitters Olvedo, Novak, and Cosner, in the third inning. They'll be wrapping up their second time through the batting order, and Eisenhower chases one out of the zone. It's now 1-2. 6-4 Holcomb trying to hang on to a 2-run lead. Scott City could get a base hit from Eisenhower, could possibly tie this game up. Contreras is at second. Aaron Radke at third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Novak trying to close the deal on the second inning. Jammed up Eisenhower, slow roller fielded misplayed by the second baseman, and another error allows a run to score, and it's now 6-5. Kind of jammed up Eisenhower, but overrunning it was the Holcomb Longhorn.
Jackson Harris.
And Aaron Radke scores, and Emilio Contreras to third, and Scott City to within 1 here in the bottom of the second inning for the freshman right fielder Jackson Harris, who's 0 for 1. Harris popped up to the second baseman his first time up. The left-handed batter has a closed batting stance, keeps his right foot in the left-handed batter's box. Novak delivers a pitch high, ball 1. 2 on, 2 out for the Beavers. 3 runs in. They have pulled back to within a run. The tying run for Scott City 90 feet away. That's Emilio Contreras here in the last of the second. 6-5 Holcomb lead here. Plenty of runs for both sides here in these first couple of innings. This one lifts in the air, and this is going to tie the game up. It's going to drop for a hit. Rounding second is Eisenhower. He's on his way to third. And a single for Jackson Harris has tied this game up at 6 in the bottom of the second inning. And be call it a 2-out double.
Double for Jackson Harris.
So he made it over to second.
Brings up number 11,
Eisenhower to third.
Berry.
So 2 on in scoring position, 2 outs. Berry the batter, 0 for 1. So Scott City has batted around in this second inning. Berry struck out to end the first inning. As the Beavers look to retake the lead with 2 in scoring position now. Novak's pitch. That hit the bat.
That's a foul.
They said it hit the, it's a hit batter. It's a hit at Berry's hand, and Armendariz.
Off the bat, Yuli Armendariz.
Armendariz the batter. He started off this inning with a Infield single and a run scored. And he stands at the plate. 6-6 bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the second. And Novak's throwing 23 pitches in relief in this second inning. And this one's popped up in the air. This might be, is this going to be played? As running underneath, it's going to be David Corral for the catch, and that'll end the inning. But Scott City
for 3 away.
gets it
At the end of 2,
tied back up at 6 with 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning on 2 hits and error, and the bases loaded. We go to the third. It is 6-all. Back in a minute for the third inning. This is Beaver Baseball. Second inning of work. He went the final 2/3 of the inning, or got the final 2 outs of the second inning, relieving Spencer Kramer. It's the 8-9-1 hitters for the Horns here in the third inning. Olvedo, Novak, and then top of the order for a third trip through for Cosner. Radke threw 11 pitches in relief in that
Olvedo
second
the batter,
inning.
Novak on deck. Cosner, get ready.
Got the final 2 outs. So now
Top
both
three,
pitchers that have relieved the starters are in line for the decision. Radke throws in a called strike to begin the third inning, 0-1 to Olvedo. Olvedo in the second inning singled into right field. Here's the Aaron Radke 0-1 delivered in low, ball 1, 1-1. Ball and a strike here for the right fielder, Jacob Olvedo. 6-6, top of the third here in game 2. This is a bouncer fielded by Avery Radke, over to first, 1 away. Radke to Contreras on the 6-3 putout of Olvedo.
Radke to Contreras at first base.
Who didn't have to
1 away.
flinch much or move at all hardly to take that grounder. And it'll bring up Eli Novak, who's 0 for 1, who's now the pitcher of decision for Holcomb. He grounded out to second his first time up. 6-6 here in the top of the third. Base is cleared, 1 away. And Novak will foul this one back and out of play, 0-1. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Softball sweeping a twin bill at Holcomb earlier today. 10-0 and 15-2, both in 5 innings. 6-0 are the Lady Beavers on the air as they head to Lakin on Thursday. That pitch fouled off, and it's 0-2 for Eli Novak, and then it'll be back to the top of the order for Chase and Cosner. Freshman Radke working in the relief. 16 pitches and now a full inning of relief, including this batter Novak. Sets and brings home the 0-2. That one got away from him.
A bit high.
Let's miss the corner on that one, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes here for Eli Novak. That one fouled off. Goes off the catcher, off the home plate umpire's face mask, and ricochets to the backstop. 1-2, still your count. Cobwebs are now out for catcher and home plate umpire. As a left-handed pitcher, Radke looks for a 1-2 pitch to deliver here to Eli Novak. And here it is, outside 2-2. That one kind of got away from him a little bit as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes as the two freshmen battle, both the relief pitchers for both teams. Here's Radke's 2-2. Just getting a piece of it was Novak fouling it off. And we remain at 2-2. Here in this top of the third. All evened up at 6. Pitch. This is low and away. Good location. Maybe try to bait Novak into swinging, but he doesn't. It's full count, 3-2. And it's back to the top of the order with Chasen Cosner. Payoff pitch outside ball 4. Yep, that is ball 4. Okay. And back to the top of the order for Chasen Cosner, who's 1 for 2.
Rookover on deck.
Strikeout and a single his last time up for Cosner in his first 2 times to bat. The lefty will step in, facing another lefty, Aaron Radke. Holcomb has 1 on and 1 out in the third inning. Holcomb hasn't had an inning today where they did not have a base runner aboard. That one right down the middle for a called strike, count at 0-1. 1 on 1 out for Holcomb, top of the third. We're all evened up at 6. Scott City led 2-1 after the first inning. Holcomb put up a 5 spot in the top of the second. Then the Beavers answered back with 4 in the bottom of the frame to tie it up at 6. Time called at the plate. Granted by the home plate umpire. This game 69 minutes long. That one misses 1-1. Ball and a strike here for sophomore Cosner. Throw back to first. Novak safe on the tag applied by Contreras. See. And shade cover in the field now here as we get late into the day here. That one to be fouled out by the leadoff batter Cosner. 1-2 now your count. As Radke crossed the 25 pitch mark with that last pitch. He's thrown 14 in this inning. Has recorded just 1 out in this inning. He's recorded 1 out in relief. 1-2 counts. Fouled back on the hit and run, and Novak will have to retreat back to first on the hit and run attempt, but fouled straight back by Cosner to the backstop. 1-2 still your count. Here in the top of inning number 3. Two your score. Or 1-2, or 6-6, 1-2 is your count, excuse me. Throw back to first, runner safe. It's like Huguet softball dropped their first game to Goodland 4-0. Hello there. Pitch foul back, and we're still at 1-2. Oh. One and two count here still for Chasen Cosner. Novak at first for Holcomb. Left-handed batter Cosner at the plate. Been protecting this plate. He's fouled off 3 here. And this one's in the air just above the jumping efforts of Spencer Kramer to right center field. On to third goes Novak, and runners on the corners and 1 out for the Longhorns. And along the at-bat there, the 6th pitch of the at-bat, Cosner gets a 1-out single.
Single by Cosner brings it Brookover, the batter. Wickwar on deck, Smiley.
Had to bring in Max Brookover. So Novak at third, Cosner at first. 1 out here for Brookover, the shortstop, who singled his first time up, walked his last time up. 6-6, top of the third, 2 on, 1 out for the Longhorns. The Longhorns now with 6 hits in game 2. Throw back to first, runner safe. Both teams with 2 errors here in this second game. Brookover has 2 runs scored in this game as well. And once again, another throw back to first, keeping Cosner toward the bag. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch. Runner goes to second. They'll throw down to second, and he's safe. And that was one of those where Holcomb elected not to do the double steal. The pitch was in there for a strike. Cosner gets a stolen base. Novak stays at third. And there's 2 in scoring position, no 1 count for the freshman shortstop Brookover. And he pops this one foul and out of play. It's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes here for Max Brookover, facing the freshman Aaron Radke. 0-2 count here for Brookover. Pitch, singles this one right back up the middle, and Holcomb is going to take the lead back. They're going to score 1. Throw home is going to be wide, and that'll allow Brookover to head to second on the throw in, and Holcomb leads 8-6 with a runner at second and 1 out as he laced that one right back up the middle for a line drive single, a 2-run single.
Whitmore, the batter,
As
Smiley.
Novak and Cosner score,
Johnson
Brookover, as I
home.
mentioned, is second on the throw in, and it's 8-6 Holcomb with a runner at second and 1 out.
Runner at second.
Brings in Ryan Wickwar, the third baseman. A single and a walk for Wickwar, who's now at third base. Started at pitcher here in game 2. And we're back to action as Brookover leads off from second. Radke's pitch, that one fouled off by Wickwar, counted 0-1. And Brookover taking off all the way to third before having to retreat back to second. Oh, 1 counts here for Wickwar. Pitch up high and away, 1-1. Radke's been taxed a little bit this inning. 22 pitches. He's only gotten 1 out, but 33 in a full inning of relief of starter Spencer Kramer. That pitch pulled foul and out of play, and it's 1-2. Freshman Wickwar stands in, the right-handed batter. A lot of these freshmen were teammates of Radke and I believe maybe one other on Scott City's team, travel baseball. I believe it's Finney County Titans team. So they get the lights on here at the field. Throw back to second. And keep Brookover at the bag. 8-6 Holcomb, top of the third, 1 on, 1 out still. Wickwar, your batter. Pitch, and Wickwar swings and misses, and there's out number 2.
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Radke records his second strikeout, and that'll bring up the sophomore first baseman Maxon Smiley.
Smiley, the batter. Johnson on deck. Corral.
Smiley, pair of walks in the game. And takes a pitch for ball 1. He's been stranded on the bases both times in that cleanup spot after he's taken a couple of walks. 8-6 Holcomb, top of the third. That pitch misses low, 2-0. Two-0 count here for Smiley. Brookover leads off from second. Smiley fouls this one off. Fouls it back, and 2-1. As the backup, or the on-deck batter, Corbin Johnson has his catcher shin guards on, goes and retrieves the foul ball at the backstop. 2-1 the count here for the sophomore Smiley. Throw back to second again, and runner safe. That throw was to the second baseman Kramer at the bag to try to tag Brookover. Lead off at second. 2-1 count here for Maxon Smiley. Aaron Radke working from the stretch. Now Dales. A nice pitch in there for a strike, 2-2. That was a good-looking pitch that time. And so now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner on second. 2 runs in. And change the twos narratives because we're in the top of the third. 2-2. That one missed away. Full count, 3-2. Scott City will have the top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the third. Trying to keep it a 2-run margin. Payoff pitch, that one's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Eisenhower. One-out pitch allows Brookover to go to third, and runners on the corners with 2 outs for Corbin Johnson, who's 0 for 2. He bunted and popped up his last
Corbin
time
Johnson's
up on an
gonna be your
infield
better
fly
corral
rule
on
in the
deck.
second inning.
Cale Johnson in the hole.
And Radke has had a pretty taxing
2
inning
down.
with 30 pitches this inning, 41 an inning in the third relief. 8-6 Holcomb. They continue to put the pressure on Scott City with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Smiley will lead off from first. And they got him in a pickup between first and second. But now low throw, and that'll allow a run to score. They'll tag the runner out. I think now the question is, will they count the run?
No, that was before he scored.
I think it was before it scored. Nope, the runner does not score, so Smiley picked off, and we go to the bottom of the third. Holcomb takes the lead back, 8-6. This is Scott City Beaver baseball. First baseman Smiley not playing the bag right now. Contreras with a decent enough lead. Takes off on the 3-2 pitch. Oh, and a swing and a miss up out of the zone, and that'll end the inning. One hits, one left for Scott City as we head to the fourth. It's Holcomb 8, Scott City 6. And back in a minute, this is Beaver Baseball. Upheld. 1-0 count here for Corral. And now it's a 2-0 count. This regional is interesting how they have it set up. It's, of course, 16 in the regional, and it helps a little bit to fill it up with some teams moving up from 2-1A to 3A. That pitch fouled off. It's now 2-1. Well, you have teams like Hoisington, they co-op with Central Plains. Larned and Lions, I believe they co-op with another school, and Larned does as well. So they bump up to 4A in baseball. Then you get others that co-op, like Sylvan Lucas, that's a school. They co-op with Lincoln for baseball. They bump up to 3A. Ellis is co-oping with Quinter for the first time this year. And so they bump up to 3A. That pitch was in the dirt, ball 3-1. That's in the Scott City Regional and also the Holcomb Regional. So see some unfamiliar teams in the regional. 3 balls and a strike here. Ellis, of course, Scott City and Ellis not playing this year. That 3-1 pitch in for a called strike, and it's now full count 3-2. And in this regional, you got Ellenwood, another team that is bumped up a classification to 3A. Russell, who also co-hosts with Victoria, but their numbers looks like not enough to bump up to 3A or 4A. Pitch misses for ball, 4-1 out walk for Corral.
Walk for
And that'll bring up the freshman Cale Johnson, who's
Brings up
1 for
Cale
2.
Johnson, the batter.
Singled right back
Oviedo
up the
on
middle.
deck.
His first time up, struck out
Novak,
looking in
get
his second
ready.
at bat.
One down, runner at first.
And the Longhorns with 1 on and 1 outs, and still an inning for Holcomb today where they have not had a base runner. They'll throw back to first to keep Corral toward the bag. 8-6 Holcomb. But coming into today, Russell Victoria had a 6-0 record. Ellis Quinter is at 4-0 coming into today. Southwestern Heights 5-1. Scott City gets them later on in the year. That one in the dirt, 1-0. Sylvan Lucas Lincoln, they're 3-1 coming into today. Scott City with their win, bumped up to number 5 in the standings. That one fouled off, 1-1. Beloit's 4-2 entering today. Colby 4-3. Holcomb 4-3. Cimarron 3-3. Ellenwood 3-3. Smoky Valley dropped it, or they're 2-2. Nickerson 2-6. Goodland 1-5. Ellsworth 0-6, and Minneapolis 0-6. Looks like Lakin is playing their first games of the year today. It's pretty late to have their first games of the year, if that's right on according to the Acacia standings. 1-1 count here for Johnson. Another throwback to first as Scott City concerned with Corral, trying to corral him at first, or keep him corralled at first. And I'll show myself out. Pitch on the way, grounder down the third base. Feely will play it first to Emilio Contreras. Advances Javid Corral to second for the second out of the inning. 5-3 retirement. Corral to second
First for 2
on the
away.
ground out.
Brings up
And-
Olvida. Novak on deck. Cosner, get ready.
Dale Johnson
2 down, runner
retired.
at second.
That'll bring up Jacob Olvedo, who's 1 for 2. Single and a ground out for Olvedo. Holcomb 8, Scott City 6, top of the 4th here in game 2. And that one he swings and misses, and it gets away from the catcher, and Corral will trot on over to third base on the passed ball. And it's an 0-1 count for Oviedo, the right fielder. So a lot to play for yet after today. There'll be a lot of changing in the seedings. That pitch in for a strike. Count is at 0-2. Scott City in the bottom of the 4th will have due up Spencer Kramer, Easton Eisenhower, and Jackson Harris. 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right field, and that's going to drop for a hit. And Holcomb will have at least 1 run in every inning so far as that scores Corral from third, and that extends their lead to 9-6.
RBI single brings up Novak. Cosner on deck. Brookover.
Corral scores from third. Oviedo at
2 down,
first
runner
for
at first.
Eli Novak, who's 0 for 1. Radke now at 56 pitches. Go back to first, almost got him there. Back to first again. Runner's still safe. Playing a little throw back again. That one a little closer. Nice little chess match. Pitch. Grounder. This will be charged by Kramer. He'll sidearm it over to Emilio
Out
Contreras,
first
and
for
Eli
3 away
Novak is
after 3.5.
retired.
Holcomb
As
9.
we are
Scott City
halfway
6.
home in game number 2, it is Holcomb 9,
Kramer,
Scott City 6.
Eisenhower,
As the
Harris
Longhorns
scores.
add
Scott
another
City in the
run.
bottom of 4.
And a hit and 1 left in the top of the 4th. Back in a minute. This is Beaver Baseball. gave it a
35. Easton
Kramer gave it a good
Eisenhower.
ride, but Corral right there to bring it in for 1 out. For Easton Eisenhower, 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch and reached on an error his last time up. Takes a pitch upstairs for a ball. Bottom of the fourth, 9-6 Holcomb. 1 out, bases cleared for the Beavers. As Johnson works from the windup, the senior delivers. Little excuse me jam, bouncer right to Cale Johnson, over to Cosner, 2 away. Four 3 on the retirements. Johnson to Cosner, 2 away for Jackson Harris, who's 1 for 2.
Number 20, Jackson
Pop outs and a double for Harris his last time up. You cannot miss his hands. He has bright pink batting gloves. That fastball off the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. And when it gets a little darker with the lights on, they become more noticeable. 0-1 count for the freshman Harris. Outside, 1-1. 2 out, bases empty. Last of the fourth here in game 2. 9-6. Holcomb with the advantage. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes here for Jackson Harris. Johnson's been efficient on the mound here. And he'll get a strike 3. Called looking. And the senior Corbin Johnson only needed 7 pitches to retire the side in order. 9-6 Holcomb as we head to the 5th. Back in a minute. This is Beaver Baseball. That was quick. unfortunately dropped the ball, had a good chance at a tag, and it's a 1-1 count, and Cosner in scoring position with another stolen base. Both these teams have pretty good leadoff batters. Cosner for Holcomb, Avery Radke for Scott City, and now Brookover pops this one up in the infield. It's going to be Tegan Feely who will make the grab, and there's a one away.
Pop out to third for one away.
Haven't seen any double plays turn tonight. Ryan Wickwar, your batter, 1 for 2.
Wickwar the batter. Smiley on deck. Johnson, get ready.
A single, walk, and a strikeout
Corbin
for him in his
Johnson.
first 3 times to bat here in game 2. And now Aaron Radke loses the ball out of his hand and rolls carelessly off the mound, and now he'll go pick it up. Runner at second is Cosner with 1 out, and the pitch just misses for ball 1 for Ryan Wickwar. Radke now at 66 pitches in 3 innings of relief. The 1-0, here's a grounder. This will be fielded by Avery Radke, and he can't handle it, and Scott City will have their 3rd error, and runners at first and second, 1 out. Everybody is safe.
Runners will be at first and second with 1 down. It's going to bring up Smiley the batter.
And
Corbin
Cosner
Johnson
remained at
on
second.
deck.
It would have been
Corral
wise
in the
for me
hole.
because
1 out.
Radke didn't get a throw to first. And that'll bring up Maxon Smiley, the catcher. He has a hat trick of walks, and he swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off. 2 on, 1 out for Holcomb here in the top of the 5th, trying to add to their 9-6 lead. Second game of this doubleheader. Low, 1-1. Ball and a strike here for the sophomore catcher, Maxon Smiley. Pitch from Radke right back up the middle. That's going to drop in for a single. That's going to score Cosner from second, as a throw-in will not come close, and it's now 10-6 Holcomb. First and second and 1 out still for the Longhorns, as that time Smiley tattooed that one right back up the middle, line drive, single. Scored Cosner from second.
Corbin Johnson,
Wickwar
batter,
goes
Corral
to
on
second,
deck.
stays there.
Cale Johnson. in the
And
hole.
Maxon
1
Smiley
down.
at first for Corbin Johnson, who's 0 for 3. Bunt and also fly out and a ground out, and he puts this one down the third base line, but it's going to trickle foul. And the count is at 0-1. Mention about double plays. Kansas City turned a double play last night that's so unique. It was a true around the horn double play. 5-6-4-3. First time in over 30 years that it's been done in the majors. Yeah, ricocheted off the third baseman's glove right to the shortstop, the second for 1, and then over to first for a double play against the Guardians of Cleveland last night. The Royals would win that one last night, but had only 1 doggone hit today. Throw back to second. They would lose 2-1 to the Guardians today. Johnson, the batter, 0 for 3.
Look, he got him on.
Left-hander fouls this one over, and it's now 0-2. Sun is officially set on Scott City. Pitch is into the dirt, 1-2 from Radke. He's at 73, and this is probably his longest outing by far this year that he's had. You got to wonder how much gas he has left in the tank. It's a 1-2 count here for Corbin Johnson. 2 on, 1 out for Holcomb. Another run in. They lead 10-6, and that one up and in 3-1. It's been an unusual day for him. I don't think he's been on base at once at all today, even in the first game. But it's a 2-2 count here, not 3-1. But he grounds this one. This will be a roller to Kramer. Oh, he misplayed it. And rounding third and scoring is going to be Wickwar. And advancing from first to third is Smiley. His second error in the inning is helped the Longhorns out, and now they lead 11-6, still with 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. So Wickwar scored from second, and Smiley goes to third.
Corral the batter.
Johnson at
on
first, and that'll
Vito
bring up
in the hole.
David
One down.
Corral, who's 0 for 2 in this second game. So back first. Corral struck out, reached on an error, and walked in this game. So he steps out of the box to get a sign from his third base coach. This feels like maybe either a double steal or hit and run. And runner goes for first, high fly ball, lift to left field. Barry will make the catch, and that'll be out number 2. Smiley was down the line going
Fly to the
home.
left
He had to
fielder for
retreat
two
back
away.
to third. No chance for him to tag up. Corbin Johnson had to go back to
Cale
first.
Johnson, your batter, will be
And
on
so
deck.
there's
No
2
back in the
away.
hole. 2 down.
So nice play by Barry at left field for out number 2. And that'll bring in Cale Johnson, who's 1 for 3. Now throw to first and almost a tag out of Johnson at first. So you have big brother at first, little brother at the plate. Smiley at third, and Radke would snap back throw to first. That's Aaron Radke. So you got 2 sets of brothers here. Both are seniors, both are freshmen. Aaron and the freshman for Scott City Avery, the senior, Radke. And then you have Cale Johnson, who just take a pitch for a ball, the freshman, and then Corbin Johnson, the senior for Holcomb. 1-0 count for the freshman Cale, facing the freshman Aaron. Getting sets is Radke, and Cale will foul that one off. 1-1. 11 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for Holcomb. 6 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors for the Beavers. Holcomb has scored at least 1 run in every inning here in this second game. And now they have runners. Now drop ball at third or second by Radke. They got Corbin Johnson in a run down, and they will tag him out, and that'll end the inning. So Corbin Johnson tagged out on a 1-6 play, and Cale Johnson will be due up in the top of the 6th.
11-6 long.
But the Longhorns will add another couple runs in the bottom of top of the 5th as we head to the bottom of the inning. Scott City down 11-6. This is Beaver baseball. Bottom of the fifth, one on, nobody out, 11-6 Holcomb. As now Barry will start to lead off from first, working from the stretches. Johnson, the pitch is in, gets away from the catcher, Smiley. Wild pitch will allow Barry to trot over to second base and a runner in scoring position, nobody out for the Beavers, and also 1-0 count here for the sophomore Armendariz. One 0 count. Here's the pitch, popped up in foul territory, but it's going to work its way out, 1-1. Ball and a strike here. No Scott City coaches show tomorrow night, by the way. I'll be out of town, so be away, so no coaches show tomorrow. We'll be back on the 15th for one at Ace Hardware. 1-1 pitch popped up and back and out of play, and it's now 1-2. Runner at second, nobody else. Bottom of the fifth here in game 2, 11-6 Holcomb. Nice job by Coach David Dirks bringing in a couple of baseballs to the home plate umpire. Avery Radke stands on deck. Barry leads off from second. Johnson will get a sign from Max and Smiley. Now sets, glances over at Barry at second. And delivers a 1-2. Grounder to the shortstop bouncer. Fielded by Brookover. His throw to first. Just got him. One away. Brook over to Cosner for round number 1.
Third. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, number 3, Avery Radke.
And that advanced Barry to third with one out for Avery Radke, who's 0 for 2. Radke, a couple of flyouts and a walk. And also a run scored in the second inning. Runner at third, one out. Barry's at third. 11-6 Scott City trails here in game 2. Bottom of the fifth, up high for a ball. So 1-0 count here for Radke. This one popped tired high in the infield. This is going to be in play for Wickwer at third, and he races in for out number 2 and makes the grab.
Going to bring up number 1, Aaron Radke.
Wind not a factor here. It hasn't been for pretty much all of game 2 here. So runner at third and 2 down here for Aaron Radke. He's 1 for 2. A single walk and a fly out. Both of his hits have been right back up the middle. One was a grounder, one was a fly out to center. Runner at third, 2 outs. Scott City an opportunity to score for the first time since the second inning, but down 5 runs here, 11-6. Pitch inside corner called strike, counted 0-1. Holcomb in their 6th at bat will have the bottom third of the order. Cale Johnson, who was up after the pickoff in the top of the 5th, and then Olvedo and Novak. 0-1 count here for Radke. Make it a 1-1. That one pitch is high, or that next pitch is high, excuse me. One ball, one strike. As we continue on here. 1-1, leased in the air to right center field, and that'll drop in for a hit, and that'll score a run. Aaron will round first on his way to second, and he's in there with a stand-up RBI double, scoring Chastenberry from third. And the Beavers are back to within 4 at 11-7 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So nice double that time, an extra base hit for Radke. There he scores from third, and that'll bring in Emilio Contreras, who's 1 for 1. Contreras hit by a pitch, a walk, and a single his last time up. Lined it into center field. Back in the third. 11-7 Holcomb, bottom of the fifth, runner at second, 2 away. Johnson's throwing 22 pitches in relief, the senior Johnson. That one misses high out of the catcher's glove with Smiley, and on to third goes Radke, and Aaron Radke into third with a 1-0 count. One 0 count here. A pretty good crowd on hand to watch this finale of the night. This game going about 2 hours old. Aaron Radke at third. The 1-0 in for a fastball strike, 1-1. Try to get you some league scores in baseball anyway. Colby trailing TMP Marion 6-5 at the end of 6 in game 2. And Contreras swings and misses. TMP scoring 9 runs in the 10th inning. Cimarron and Ulysses battling as well. It's 3-2 Ulysses in game 2 at the end of the 5th. 1-2 count here for Contreras. The pitch from Corbin Johnson low, 2-2. And Holcomb also doing battle today. Or Goodland and Hugoton, excuse me. Kept it in the league. 2-2 pitch. Curveball misses. Full count, 3-2. Didn't miss by much there. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aaron Radke at third. Scott City down 11-7. Contreras, the senior first baseman, will see a payoff pitch here coming up from Corbin Johnson, who sets and brings it home. Back up the middle, base hit. It's 11-8. Contreras with an RBI single, scoring Aaron Radke from third, and the inning
RBI
continues
single
on.
by Contreras. Scores
That's
Radke.
a 2-hit game.
It brings up
game 2.
number 9, Tegan Feely.
So Radke scores from third. It's 11-8. And Tegan Feely checks in, 1 for 3. Single, ground out, and a strikeout. Single back in the first inning. 11-8 Scott City now with a little life in their bat here, scoring for the first time since the second inning as they've got 2 runs back here in this bottom of the 5th with 2 outs here. Pitch. That one's hit into left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And another hit for the Beavers. All of a sudden, the tying run comes to the plate.
Spencer Kramer.
And Contreras is at second. Scott City now with 8 hits in this second game. This has been a 22-pitch inning for Corbin Johnson, now 29 inning and 2/3 of relief. Kramer 0 for 3. He represents the tying run here in the last of the 5th. Reached on an error, strikeout, and a flyout. Scott City with a little life left in him, back to within 3. That pitch is away for a ball. One 0 the count for the senior Kramer facing the senior Johnson from Holcomb. Contreras leading from second, Feely from first. They'll throw back to second. The ball trickled into shallow center field as Contreras using that speed to get back in there in time. And now Contreras will lead back off from first. See Spencer, he's due for a homer here. He does have a home run or 2 in this ballpark. That pitch misses high, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here for Spencer Kramer. Feely at first, Contreras at second here in the last of the fifth. 2 in for Scott City to pull to within 11-8. Johnson sets and delivers a 2-0. Bouncer just past the diving effort of Cale Johnson at second base. That'll bring in Contreras.
Maybe.
And, well, the play at the tag not in time, and it's 11-9. Feely at second. That was a good throw-in from the outfield by Oviedo. And Contreras scores from second to make it 11-9. Runners at first and second with 2 outs on an RBI single by Spencer Kramer.
That bat for the Beavers, number 35, Easton
So Contreras
Eisenhower.
scores. And the tying run is at first with 2 outs. But first, we have a visit from Coach Finnegan talking to his senior pitcher, Corbin Johnson, and the rest of the infield for Holcomb. Eisenhower 0 for 2. He's due for a hit as well. Reached on an error, hit by a pitch and a ground out. Eisenhower had an RBI walk. RBI hit by a pitch, I should say. That falls in one of the rare forms of how you drive in a run. But it's 11-9 now, and 3 for the Beavers here in this bottom of the fifth, and all of a sudden, they've shown a little life here in the bottom of the fifth. And this rally has all been done with 2 outs. Meeting is over. And so Eisenhower will get his chance at Corbin Johnson. The tying run is at first. The 10th run of the game for Scott City stands at second. All of a sudden, the Beavers are back in this one, down 2 runs. Johnson will set. Quick glance, second time over at second. Brings home the pitch to Eisenhower. That fastball in there for a called strike, count at 0-1. 11-9 Holcomb, top or bottom of the fifth. 2 on, 2 out for Scott City. It's been a 2-out rally for the Beavers here in this second game. Johnson sets in a 0-1 pitch. Ooh, curveball in there for called strike. Nice pitch, 0-2. Or nope, said high, 1-1.
You're right. It was a strike.
Or it was a strike, 0-2.
That's my opinion.
0-2 count, and now Eisenhower must protect the plate with 2 strikes. Johnson sets, glances over at Feely at second. Pitch on the way. Fouled off. Good job by Easton doing that. Count remains at 0-2. So Scott City, all of a sudden, a little life here with 3 runs back in this inning. They have the tying run at first with 2 outs. You hit one in the alleys, and it goes back to the fence. That could be a game tire. Eisenhower can give it a ride. The 0-2. Ground ball fielded by the third baseman. Fields it. Throws it over to first, not in. Oh, he did get him.
No, we pulled it.
Oh, man. A tough break for Scott City there. That ends the inning, but the Beavers are back into the ball game. Boy, it looked like it pulled the first baseman off, but the umpires said otherwise. We go to the sixth. Scott City with 3 runs back, and it's 11-9 Holcomb.
Go to the top of 6.
We go to the
See
6th inning
11-9
back in a minute.
Holcomb.
This is Beaver Baseball. the home plate umpire, after talking with Coach David Dirks, as Scott said he was getting ready to warm up on the infield for the 6th inning, they have ruled an error.
2 down,
It was
bases
overruled
loaded
by the home
for
plate
the
umpire.
Beavers.
They say the first baseman pulled his foot off the bag, which is probably the right call. Just an unusual situation there. And so now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Eisenhower ends up being safe at first
At bat for Scott
on the
City,
3rd
number
error of the
20,
day by
Jackson
Holcomb.
Harris.
And Feely's at 3rd, and all of a sudden the tying run, Spencer Kramer's at 2nd for the freshman right fielder Jackson Harris, who's 1 for 3. So all of a sudden, Scott City has a tying run at 2nd, in an unusual sequence. Usually you get the appeal pretty quick, but Scott City was already warming up, and the home plate umpire ended up overruling the umpire in the field on an appeal by Scott City. Here's Johnson's pitch inside, ball 1. Boy, that could change the whole mental aspect of this game around. 1-0 count here for Jackson Harris. And Johnson has thrown 30 pitches in this inning, 37 in an inning and 2/3 relief. Here's the 1-0. This one's popped up, and this will work its way into shallow left center field. And it's going to be caught by the shortstop, Max Brookover. Now the inning is
Shortstop
over.
for 3 away.
But Scott City
Get to
leads. The
5.
base is loaded
Holcomb leads 11-9.
as the Beavers end up scoring 3 runs on 4 hits and an error. They leave the bases loaded and are to within 11-9 as we'll officially go to the 6th. Back in a minute. This is Beaver baseball.
Yeah, when that happened in the
Here in the 6th inning,
Cale
Caleb
Johnson, the
Johnson,
batter.
followed up
Nick
by
Novak in a hole.
Jacob
Top of 6.
Olvedo and Eli Novak. It is 11-9 for Holcomb, as Scott City got 3 runs back in the bottom of the 5th. But Holcomb has scored at least 1 run in every inning. That pitch in from Aaron Radke, a strike. It's 0-1. Johnson is 1 for 3. He was up to bat with the pickoff between 1st and 2nd to end the top of the 5th and takes a pitch for a ball. It's like Hugoton split with Goodland in baseball. Hugoton won the 2nd game 13-10. That pitch misses 2-1. For Cale, the freshman second baseman, single, a strikeout, and a ground out for him. The 2-1 count in his favor, and he takes a big swing and misses, and it's 2-2. Bottom third of this Longhorn order up in this 6th inning. Scott City trying to keep it a 2-run margin here. The 2-2. Outside, full count, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes for the freshman second baseman, Cale Johnson. Radke delivers the payoff. Fouled off. And now, Radke had 84 pitches. And all of a sudden, you got to be thinking about who's going to be next in line to pitch for the Beavers. And fouls another one off. And that's another full count at 3-2. here in the top of the 6th. Payoff pitch misses for ball 4 and a base runner aboard for the Longhorns.
Johnson walk brings up Ovita. Novak on deck. Cosner, get ready. Nobody out. Runner at first.
How to bring up Jacob Olvedo, who is 2 for 3. Olvedo and a single in his first 3 trips to bat. 1 on, nobody out for Holcomb in the 6th, and a fastball right down the middle for a called strike. 0-1 for the right fielder. Holcomb with 11 runs on 10 hits and 3 errors here in Game 2. Scott City, 9 runs, 9 hits, and 4 errors here in this second game. The Radke pitch is low, 1-1. You have to think if Scott City can hold or shut Holcomb out in an inning here on the scoreboard here, I can give them some confidence going into the bottom of the 6th inning that they've got a chance here. This will be tap foul first base side, and it's 1-2. But Radke will have his 90th pitch of the game coming up in 3 2/3 innings relief. That's hurt him a little bit, just trying to get some outs here. He's had some high pitch counts for at-bats here. Runner at first and nobody out here for Holcomb in the top of the 6th. Radke's 90 pitch of relief is inside, blocked by Eisenhower. Johnson will take off from second, and the throw will not be in time, and it's misplayed, and it'll go into center field, and Johnson heads over to third. Stolen base and an error. And it's now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This pitch is popped up. In the air and catching it, tagging up and holding up. And there's 1 away. So Kramer makes the catch, 1 away. Johnson remains at third for Eli Novak, who's 0 for 2. Correction, Cosner. That was Novak who was up to bat. Cosner 3 for 4. That pitch in for. Oh, correction, I'm off 1 here. I'm sorry about that.
That should be up.
Novak, your batter. Cosner on deck. Brookover in the hole. 1 down.
And now ball gets away and throw home not in time, and it's 12-9. So base is empty, 1 out, Novak the batter, 1-1 count for him. On the fastball, base is empty, 1 down, 12-9 Holcomb. And Novak will foul this one off. It's 1-2 now. So 1 out in the inning. Pitch misses, and it's 2-2. Or 3-2, excuse me. Now, Cosner will, correction, Novak will head over to first. And now, ball 4, and Radke approaching 100 pitches for
Walk by Novak. Back to the top of the order
Jason
for Holcomb.
Cosner, who's 3 for 4. He has fouled that one off. He is.
One down.
Have left, center, and right where he's singled. He struck out as well, but he's reached on a single each of his last 3 at bats. 1-on-1 out, 1 in for Holcomb in the top of the 6th. They lead 12-9. That one up high. It's 1-1. Radke right at around 100 pitches. He's at 99. Pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes here for Chasen Cosner. Novak at first, 1 out. It's 12-9 here for Holcomb. So they've gotten a run back here. Runner goes, pitches in the dirt, throw to second, not in time, and a stolen base for Novak. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Novak with a stolen base and another Longhorn in scoring position here. 2-2 count for Cosner, the first baseman. He started the game out in center field. Pitch, swing and a miss, and there's 2
Strike
away.
3 swinging for 2 away.
And it'll be
Gonna bring
Max
up
Brookover, your batter.
Wickwar on deck. Smiley in
Radke
the
is at
hole,
102
2 down.
pitches. Even if he goes over 105, he can still finish this at bat here with Brookover, who's 2 for 3. Runner at second, 12-9, Holcomb top of the 6th. First Beaver pitcher to go over 100 pitches in a season or in a game this year. That one's in the dirt for a ball. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. So, 1-1 count here. We're guaranteed this is going to be Radke's last batter faces. This one's fouled off. First base side and drops. And Contreras gave it a good trot to it, but couldn't get to it, and it's 1-2. So, Radke right at 105 now. Ball and 2 strikes. With Novak on at second. Top of the 6th, 12-9 Holcomb. That pitch will get away from the catcher, and Eli Novak will trot over to third on the pass ball, and it's a 2-2 count. So we're going to get a new pitcher, whether it's the end of the top half of the inning or the next batter. This one's flown in the air to right field, and it's going to be dropping in for a single, and another run scores. In the middle of 3 Beavers, and it's 13-9. Brookover drives in Novak from third, and that'll be the day for Radke.
Wickwar is going to be your batter. Smiley on deck. Corbin Johnson. Get ready. Be a new pitcher for the Beavers.
We have a new pitcher here, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. 13-9 Holcomb, top of the 6th. Runner at first, 2 out. This is Beaver baseball. Whew.
Okay, who's coming in?
Feely, all right.
Okay, he hasn't pitched yet, so.
Oh, we're going to have some wholesale 13-9, Scott City trails Holcomb here in the top of the sixth. As a single 11th hit of the day for Holcomb drives in Novak for third. Brook over that RBI single. 2 outs, and Aaron Radke ran out of pitches. Ends up with 106 unofficially. But it's Tegan Feely, the new pitcher. He's gone 8 1/3 innings this year. He's given up 8 runs, 6 earned on 5 hits, 13 strikeouts, and 8 walks. And has a 5 earned run average in 8 1/3 innings. This will be his 6th game played this year. 6th appearance, I should say. He'll inherit a runner at first with 2 down. And likely he'll be the one to go try to get the last 4 outs for Scott City. Keep this a 4-run margin. With Ryan Wickwar up, the freshman is 1 for 3, a single, walk, and a strikeout, and also reached on an error his last time up. 13-9, Holcomb. Runner goes, that pitch inside. They'll throw down to second, and runner's in for the stolen base.
Wickwar the batter, Smiley on
Brook
deck.
over into
Johnson
scoring
in the hole.
position.
2 down, runner at second.
1-0 count here for the freshman third baseman Wickwar. Feely looks over at the runner at second, delivers home a 1-0. A big hack at it, missing is going to be Wickwar. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike here. Or Wickwar takes that one and gets away from the catcher, and on to third goes Brookover. 2-1 the count. Two and one the count here for Ryan Wickwar, the runner at third, Brookover. The pitch on the way, low and in, 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Misses high, ball 4, and there's 2 on and 2 out now.
Wickwar walks, brings
Back
up Smiley. Johnson
To
on
Maxon
deck.
Smiley. He has 3 walks and a hit. His last time up, he did single right back up the middle of center field on a liner. And he has to take his catcher's shin guards off before he can step into bat. This game 2. Approaching 2.5 hours long. Yeah. Scott City with 3 pitchers used. Holcomb with 3 pitchers used. 13-9 is your score. Scott City down 4. That pitch misses high for a ball. And right now, Feely, in his appearance here tonight, has really had a hard time finding the zone here. He's throwing 6 pitches, and only 1 has found the zone, the strike zone. That pitch, oh, that hit him. And that'll load the bases. So Wickwar will go over to second. It was a hit and run anyway, but he'll
That loads the
second
bases.
Smiley to first for Corbin Johnson.
For number 13, Corbin Johnson, the batter.
Corbin is 0
Corral
for
on
4.
deck.
Reached on an error his last time up.
Cale Johnson in the hole.
Ground outs,
2
infield
outs,
fly,
bases loaded.
pop up, and a bunt out for him. And he almost wore that one up and in for a ball. 13-9, Holcomb with the bases loaded and 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Here in the second game of this twin bill. Misses 2-0. And Feely really having a hard time finding the zone in his appearance on the mound, which has been uncharacteristic for him this year. Left-handed batter facing the righty. That one misses away, 3-0, and nowhere to put Johnson. Feely has nothing to pitch, or has no other pitch than a strike. The base is loaded and 2 down. And there it is, the fastball taking all the way. And you got to wonder, a 3-1 count. Johnson will just take this one as well. 13-9 here in the top of the sixth. Bases juiced of Longhorns, 2 outs. But it doesn't matter. It's outside ball 4 and an RBI walk. And Holcomb will get their 3 runs back to go back up 5, 14-9. That scores Brookover. Wickward to third, Smiley to second. Corbin Johnson at first for Javid Corral, who's 0 for 3 here in game 2. Strikeouts,
Johnson
reach on an arrow, walk, and a fly out.
We'll beat it in the hole.
We'll pause real quickly for, well, we don't have time for that right now, but we owe you a station break, or station ID, pitch. Ooh, up and in, ball 1. So Feely really having struggles with his command in relief here. 1-0 count here for Corral. That one hits the upper part of the strike zone. It's 1-1. Wickward third, Smiley at second, Johnson at first. That's Corbin Johnson. Cale Johnson stands on deck for the Longhorns. Holcomb 14, Scott City 9, top of the sixth, bases loaded, 2 down, and a 2-1 count now for Javid Corral, the left fielder. He's also one that, if it gets dark out, you can find his shoes. He's got some neon green, yellow, and orange shoes. 3-1 now the count. 3 balls and a strike here for Corral, the left fielder. And nowhere to put him. Feely will bring home a 3-1 pitch inside, another RBI walk. Let's go ahead and pause for station ID. This is Beaver Baseball. To 9. So hit by pitch. First pitch of the year for Radke. Scores a runner from third.
Batter hit by pitch.
It's Cale Johnson. Play
That'll bring
advance to first.
Ovita the batter. Novak on
And that'll
deck.
bring up Jacob Oviedo, who's
Cosner
2 for 4.
In the hole.
16-9. Now Holcomb. This one's laced in the air, and that's going to drop for a hit. That'll score 2 more runs, we believe. Yep, 18-9. An RBI single by Oviedo. Scores Corbin Johnson and David Corral. Cale Johnson stays at second, 2 outs in the inning. It's now 18-9, Holcomb. That'll bring in Eli Novak, who's 0 for 2. By the way, in the
Novak,
6th
your
inning,
batter.
this will be the 12th batter for
Cosner on
Holcomb.
deck.
Second
Brookover.
time in this
Oh.
game they've batted around plus some, and Novak will take a pitch up and in for a ball. He's 0 for 2. He's walked twice, scored twice, ground outs twice to the second baseman, and he shoots this one into center field for a base hit, and that'll load the bases as the runners hold up there. Good job by Aaron Radke throwing that one in. And the bases are loaded back to the top of the order for Chasen Cosner, who's
Cosner
3
the
for
batter.
5.
Brookover on deck. Whitmore in the hole. 2 down. Bases loaded.
Strikeout, 2 strikeouts and 3 singles. He struck out earlier in this inning, facing Aaron Radke. Now he gets older brother Avery. Bases loaded, 2 down, top of the 6th, 18-9 Scott City Trails here. Holcomb has put up 7 in this inning, and that pitch just misses away for a ball. Seventh spot in the 6th inning for Holcomb. And it's now 2-0. Scott City's up to their 4th pitcher of game 2. 2 balls, no strikes for Cosner, now 3-0. Gets away from the catcher, and coming in is the younger Johnson to make it 19-9, and the runners advance 60 feet or 90 feet on the bases. It's 3-0. So Cale Johnson scores from third. The pass ball Oviedo to second. And Novak to from Oviedo to third from second, and from first to second goes Novak. So first base is unoccupied in a 3-0 count, and now Holcomb with 8th spot in the 6th inning. 3-0, strike 3-1. 19-9 Holcomb now. If they do end up winning this, which they are in a prime spot to do so, this would be their 3rd doubleheader split of the year. That one in for a called strike. It is a full count to Cosner, 3-2. Scott City has 8-9-1 hitters due up in the bottom of the 6th, which could potentially be their last at bat. Here's Radke's 3-2 pitch, misses high, ball 4, and that'll load the bases up for Max Brookover.
Brookover the batter. Whitmore on deck. Smiley in the hole. 2 down.
So, 2 outs, bases loaded, blocked by the catcher Eisenhower. 1-0 is the count. Max Brookover 3 for 4 here in game 2. 3 singles, a walk, and a pop out. Holcomb with 13 hits in game 2, and now ball 2, 2-0. Oviedo at third, Novak at second, Cosner at first, an 8-run inning, 19-9 Holcomb here. Top of the 6th, bases loaded, 2 away. Scott City just needs to get that final out to end the damage to 8 runs. That one misses, 3-0. Three and 0 counts for Brookover. Takes a called strike, 3-1. 3-1 is your count. Pitch on the way, misses high, ball 4, and run 20 will cross. Oviedo will score, Novak to third, Cosner for second, and that'll bring up Ryan Wickwar. He's 1 for 3 here in game 2.
Wickwar, the batter for Holcomb. Smiley on deck. Corbin Johnson, get ready.
This is batter number 15 of the inning. Pitch misses low for a ball. 20-9 is your score. Scott City down 11 runs here. And this is a soft liner caught by the second baseman Jackson Harris, and that'll end the inning.
Caught by the second
But
baseman for 3 away.
the damage is done
Through
by
5.5.
Holcomb.
Holcomb leads 20-9.
They put up 9 runs, 3 hits, 1 error,
8-9-1,
and
doing
leave the
for Scott
bases
City in the
loaded. They
bottom of
lead
6.
20-9 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Berry,
8-9-1
Armendariz,
hitters
Radke.
for the Beavers when we come back in a minute. This
Hey, there's a different pitcher. Hey, what number's pitching?
Yep, 12.
12.
Max Brookover, the new pitcher, looks like for
Got a
Holcomb.
new pitcher in, okay.
So he actually pitched
Now,
in the first game.
Pitching for Holcomb, number 12, Max Brookover.
And he threw
7.
7 pitches in that first game. So Corbin Johnson's done after 38 pitches and 2 innings of relief. Scott City trying to stay alive, down 20-9 in the bottom of the 6th. They need 2 runs to continue the ball game for a full 7. So Brookover's your new pitcher. And let's see here. Wickward remains at third. Looks like Corbin Johnson goes to shortstop. That's the only change is Brookover and Johnson switch positions. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters, Chaston Berry, Yuli Armendariz, and Avery Radke, as Scott City tries to stay alive. Down 11 runs here in game 2.
Now batting for Scott City, number 11, Chaston Berry.
And all right, here we go. First pitch of this bottom of the 6th inning misses for ball 1 on the inside. Berry 0 for 1. Strikeout, hit by a pitch and a walk. He's reached base twice. 1-0 delivery. In there for a called strike, 1-1. Ball and a strike. For the junior left fielder Berry. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That one misses up and away, 2-1. 2-1 count here for Chaston Berry. 20-9, Holcomb leads. 2-1 offering. Ground ball. This is a slow roller. Berry may have a chance. Gloved by Wickwar. The throw to first not in time, and it's an infield single. Scott City's 10th hit of the game.
Berry. That'll bring up number 13.
And so
Yuli
leadoff runner aboard for the Beavers
Armendariz.
for Yuli Armendariz, who's 1 for 3. A single, a fly out, and a ground out. As I mentioned, Scott City needs 1 or 2 runs to make it a full 7-inning affair. Brookover sets and delivers. And all of a sudden, a gust of wind comes back in. Pitch is missing for ball one. One 0 counts for Yulee Armendariz. Barry at first, nobody out for Scott City in the bottom of the sixth, down 11 runs. That one in for a called strike, count at 1-1. Brookover's thrown 6 pitches in this game, but remember, he threw 7 in the first game, so 6 and 7 for his pitch count so far. 13 for the day. 1-1 count. Not throw back to first to Barry, he was safe. 1-1 count here for Armendariz. Brookover deals and fouled in the, or popped in the air, and this is actually going to drop foul, but not by much. I did see about maybe 2 or 3 grass blades between the fair line and where the ball landed foul. That's 1 and 2. Give or take a few grass blades. But you get the idea how close it was to dropping on the line fair. Ball and 2 strikes here for Yulee Armendariz. Brookover trying to close this one out for the Longhorns. Scott City trying to prolong it to another inning. The 1-2. Oh, frozen. Breaking ball called strike 3. And there's
Strike
1
3
away.
looking for 1 away.
Back to the top of the order for Avery Radke.
Going to bring up the leadoff hitter, number
0 for
3, Avery Radke.
A couple of flyouts and a pop-up and a walk for Radke. Run scored. 1-on-1 out top, bottom of the 6th for Scott City, down 20-9 here in game 2. Reminder, no coaches show tomorrow night. Be out of town. Radke, your batter. Senior Radke 0 for 3. Chases one out of the zone, and it's 0-1. Chaston Berry on at first. He reached on an infield single here in the bottom of this inning. Cool air comes into town here late tonight. Been here for a long time today. Put in a day's work. Throw back to first. Runner safe. Oh, 1 count here for Avery. Brookover deals. Up high, 1-1. Can get the ball down. Ball on the strike. Barry will lead off from first. Avery Radke, your batter, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. 20-9 good, is your lead here for Holcomb. And this one's popped up, towered high in the infield. Who's going to get it? It'll be the... Oh, a catcher dropped it in fair territory. And the throw to second, not in time, and an error for Holcomb. Keeps this game going.
Runners will be at first and second with 1 down.
Holcomb's 4th error here in
number
game
1,
2.
Aaron Radke.
And so Chaston Berry advances on to second. Avery Radke at first for Aaron Radke, who is 2 for 3. A single, a walk, a flyout, and a double for the freshman Radke. Gotta wonder how fatigued as well all the players are. They've been playing for 5 hours today. As Brookover delivers a pitch high for ball 1. Righty-lefty matchup. 2 on, 1 out for Scott City, bottom of the 6th. Holcomb 20, Scott City 9 here in game 2. The Beavers won the first game and walk off. Pitch misses. 2-0. 4-3 Beaver win in game 1. We'll have softball coverage next Tuesday at home against Colby. Lady Eagles fell for the first time this year against TMP. That pitch in for a called strike. And it's now 2-1. Two balls and a strike here for Aaron Radke. Brookover 21 pitches on the day. Fourth Holcomb pitcher used in game 2. So both teams have used 4 pitchers in this game in 6 innings. That one low, 3-1. The 10th run of the game stands at second for Scott City. The 11th run is at first. That 11th run is a very important run here. A 3-1 count here for Aaron Radke. Here it comes. Hits the outside corner, called strike, full count, 3-2. Aaron's been a tough out at the plate here today for Scott City in this doubleheader. Full count here, 3-2. Here's the Brookover payoff pitch. Popped up in the air. This will be caught by the second baseman along the outfield grass. Cale Johnson, 2 out here in the inning. And Scott City down to their final out of the game as Chaston Berry is at second. Avery Radke at first. As Aaron Radke gives some tips to Emilio to see what to expect from Max Brookover. Contreras is 2 for 2 here in game 2. Hit by a pitch, a walk, and then back-to-back singles. 20-9 Holcomb. And a grounder, slow roller. This will be fielded over to first.
Missed it.
Not in time, and that's going to score the 10th run of the game. As Barry will score from third, and Avery Radke advances to third. 2 outs for Tegan Feely.
Now bat number 9, Tegan Feely.
Error. Another error for Holcomb, their 5th of game 2. So, error here with 2 outs. 20-10 is your score now, and Radke at third. That's the important run of the game. That would extend it to the 7th. Taking Feely 2 for 4. Pitch is low for a ball. Feely, couple of singles, including his last time up, ground out and a strikeout, but he's ahead in the count 1-0. 1-0 count. The Beavers not giving up even though they're down 10 runs now. Time called at the plate. One 0 count. Pitch misses 2-0. Two balls and no strikes, your count. And this one right back, and it's going to be caught by the second baseman, Johnson, and that'll end our ball game on a soft liner, and Holcomb will win.
Holcomb 20, Scott City 10.
And
Thank you for
6
coming
innings
out
in
this
game
evening,
2.
and please
Salvage
drive
is splitting the
safely.
doubleheader, 20-10. We'll have your post-game coverage coming up next. This is Beaver Baseball.